Hi, welcome to Girl Talk. This is Miss E, and I'm joined today with the founder of KUAW, Mr. Walker.
Yes, and I'm George Walker. I'm the president of KUAW Radio and glad to be here.
I'm glad to be here too. It's been a while since we've been here. I almost forgot how to act on the radio because it's been so long. But my co-hosts are running late. One's not coming, and one is running late. And the great thing about it this time of year, it's time to kind of change up and look for some new guest co-hosts. So if you'd like to join me, contact me and let's do it. I put out a disclaimer of some of the things that you have to be able to do in order to be a co-host with me. Number one, you have to like me. I'm serious, Mr. Walker. I'm not getting nobody on my show that want to argue with me and don't and don't respect me. It's not going to happen.
But now you have to have healthy discussions, and they're not going to agree with you all the time.
Oh no, I didn't say agree.
Oh, okay.
I didn't say agree. I don't want them to agree with me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But you know how sometimes you get the people
and no hate.
No closet haters and no.
Yeah. Okay, I'm following you there.
Yeah, it's time out for that. I wanted to talk about something today. I had a conversation with a young lady. When I say young, just a person really, and we was talking about the COVID-19, how it has transferred people's life, and our lives will never be the same. We went to bed and woke up with a whole new world.
That's right.
I'm serious.
Yes,
and
yes.
on my way over here, I was thinking about that, and one of the things I thought about was the purging. Earth purged us. It purged and cleaned us because if like now, I don't have any makeup on, but the sun has really changed my complexion just like overnight hitting the sun. Everything is much clearer. You know what I'm saying?
That's one way to look at it is the purging.
Yeah, it's the purging. I mean, but it was coming after the mind. You know what I'm saying? The mind, not so much the illness of the body, but the mind, which is your spirit, locking you up, isolating you, and you happen to deal with you. And a lot of people found out they didn't like themselves.
Okay, yeah, when you had to stay with you.
Yeah, when you had to stay with you,
yeah.
They found out I don't like myself. I don't like what I've become, and I've told myself, I said, you know what? I have to get busy because it's easy when you live by yourself to get sucked into all of that stuff. They tell you, well, you're not going to have no energy. Well, all of a sudden you don't have no energy. You know what I'm saying? They tell you if you got a cold, if you cough, you got something going on. I found out I can clear out a store when I go in there and all of a sudden I got a cough. I think it's just this thing in the mind saying, you got a cough? I was like, oh, no, I don't want to cough, but you know what I'm saying? And then when you cough, everybody turns around and looks at you.
Yeah.
And I mean.
Yeah, we got more conscious of and touching your face.
Yes.
You got more conscious of that.
And you watch everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
then I started thinking, when we was coming up in the house, the first thing my father would say, take off your coat and take off your hat. Boys couldn't wear no hats in that house and no coats. And I went back and looked at pictures that we were eating at tables just recently. You know what I'm talking about? Before this happened, people was at buffet with coats on. I mean, all this stuff. I'm thinking now you more thinking about the germs that you carry from one place to the next.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're all just super sensitive or hyper aware of our surroundings and things that you touch, things that you don't see, but you're just assuming that they're there and stuff. So it's
because 99.9% kills it.
Yeah. That's but that was a thing that people have gotten, and all the businesses tried to be more accommodating to that. I went to pick up my car and the people were so nice and they're wiping off everything and letting you know we didn't touch and this, that, and other stuff. And I'm thinking, is that all that?
Some of those people, that's why I had a problem with some of those people that the government called essential workers. We should have all been upset about that because all of us are essential workers. I don't see Burger King, McDonald's, and liquor stores being essential more so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When they did that, I started thinking, you lock people up in the house together. You feed their habits. You're still feeding this habit, and you have no place to go. A person's addicted to drugs is not going to get off of drugs because they have to stay in the house.
Oh, no.
A sex offender is not going to stop offending because they're in the house. And that's what bothered me the most is the rate of violence and domestic violence, sexual abuse, and just across the table, because
Well, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're gonna have that. I mean, it wasn't a easy situation. Something was gonna give one way or another. And as they say, a lot of people were talking like they thought they were gonna cure it, and they weren't gonna cure it. The only thing they said when they started off is they just wanted to slow the spread. It was just to slow it down. It's not because there is no cure. Today, there's still not a cure, but if we get more people to stay at home, instead of having 600 people in the hospital, we'll have 350.
now I'm gonna play the devil's advocate on this
Okay.
because I believe it was a purge. I don't believe it was a disease because all of a sudden we forgot about high blood pressure. We forgot about kidneys. We forgot about getting shot in the middle of your forehead. Everything went to the hospital became that, right? And then when the numbers came back out, they like, no, the numbers didn't reflect that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about, and because I'm always thinking about domestic violence, that's the first thing you do to a victim. You isolate them. You tell them don't talk to each other. You separate the families. That's what happens. Mothers couldn't go visit their children in the hospital if they had
Yeah.
more than one. You know what I'm saying? The
Oh,
fathers
yeah.
couldn't come. You separating families. You had your elderly that are in nursing homes and they depended on that daily visit or weekly visit or whatever that a person could go. You stop that.
So you thinking they just wanted to get rid of some people?
They did. Because if you notice now, and I'm not ashamed to say this, but you see no more homeless people standing on the corner. When we used to clock them all the time, where did they go? Where did they go?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
But
People.
I don't know.
Yes, because see, those are dispensable people. Those are people that don't come with anything that's tracking them. See, there you go. That's how we do it. But and I'm very serious. You didn't see the homeless people on the corners anymore. Where did they go? Why could you go to the hospital? The doctors come in one way and you come in another way. Something wrong with that. You can't go in there and have no other operation. They don't have a cure for it, but they put you in a place where you get double pneumonia and everything else, but you died of. No autopsies done, no nothing. Yes, I do believe that. I think it was a reason to get rid of the elderly and the poor. And that was the first thing. Then you take away their jobs, but you give them liquor and provide all these other things for them. Yeah. And then they're going to go, you have the mental insane that cannot go anywhere to get their meds. Yeah.
So they just invented this, and they
invented
they ran it all around the world.
Yes, all at once.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Look what happened right recently with the civil rights right now. You think they all fighting over that black man dying, George Floyd? You think all these people in China and London is really fighting over him? Is systematically.
So what do you think they're doing that for?
I think it's because we have an election that nobody paid attention to. Like yesterday, the election.
I was there. I voted.
Okay, you probably one of the few. Because we let that Jermaine Reed get back in, and he acted like he was really running a campaign. Now he got campaign.
Well, that's just what for Metropolitan Community College.
Yeah, but now he's having fundraisers. He should have never got in. Duran McGee should have never got in. And he ran for school board or something, I think.
Oh, say I didn't get to vote on none of them.
Yeah, he ran for school board, but he should have never got in, being forced to resign as a state rep for sexual harassment. And then they covered it up. You know what I'm saying? Freedom Inc., but we're not going to go there. But to get back on what, we're going to leave that alone. But, you asked me what was the riots for? What man thought was bad turned for good, because now you see them come across the nation admitting that we've had this issue, but it didn't happen because it was a black man that got killed. It happened because those lily white kids got in them streets and their people was prominent. And they decided that they was going to stand up and take a stand against racism. Same way when the Civil Rights March happened. It didn't happen because we just got together and said, hallelujah, we should overcome. It's because the Kennedys and all of them joined in, and Jane Fondas and all of them came. But these little white kids that were not afraid of being rebellious, their parents wanted them out. So now they're coming to them because their parents were the doctors, the lawyers, all of them. And what has happened in Kansas City since they arrested them, their bond has been $1,000. You know?
Yeah, they went up from 500 to 1,000.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? And then they take them places where they don't even know where they're going. We got to get right.
It's always interesting when you have civil disturbances, as they call them.
That's our right. That's our right. You know, I knew. That I knew those folks wasn't from Kansas City when I seen them get off the sidewalks. Because Kansas City, Kansas City is when they protest, they got to get a permit. Then they got to get a permission to be disobedient, and then they got to stay on the sidewalk. I've never seen no mess like that. They marching down the street, holding signs on the sidewalk. Don't get in the street. Yes. We don't do that. So when I see them throwing rocks, I said, "Oh, that's not Kansas City," because we don't get excited about that. We really are up to 100 and something murders right now. If you go on the KSHB tracker,
we've had a lot. They're
saying 77, 78.
The coronavirus didn't slow them down.
It went away when the riots came. You notice that they wasn't talking about TNT and dissing yourself.
Well, we're gonna have to see how that's gonna be in another 2 weeks incubation time.
It doesn't matter because when they went down there in the Ozark, they only found one old person that came back with it. So all those people sitting on top of each other.
Yeah,
and they only got one.
Okay,
more than one.
They only got one that from Missouri that
I heard about one that they did find.
Yeah, and then they said it was another little town where they
little town.
Yeah, a little town.
But everything they have from allergies. Can you see yourself? From allergies.
We don't need to though.
From allergies, whatever they're calling the coronavirus.
Yeah, I got tested. I was off work for 5 days.
Yeah. You had it?
I have symptoms. My allergy symptoms were the same as corona symptoms. So my boss kept saying, "You just need to get tested and rule it out." But it's the same symptoms. I was coughing. I lost my taste for like 2 months.
You gonna lose.
It's all allergies though. I got tested.
Wait a minute. I
lost them last year though.
I lost my taste too.
Yeah, I lost
mine
last year.
And I self-quarantine at home because I'm thinking this. Why do you go get tested for something they can't cure? Why you want to put your name in the number book?
Oh.
So what they gonna do when they do a roundup? They come to get all you folks. They are. They come to get that same way when people started disappearing.
They got you on the books.
Got you on the books. Same way they did when people started donating blood on the driver's license. They came up missing. You want to give an organ? We're gonna take your biggest organ from you. We're gonna take your life. But you know, I'm serious. I don't go. It's no cure for viruses other than if you made it. If you created it, you can cure it. If you didn't create it, you cannot cure a virus. A virus can only kill a virus itself. You can't give them nothing to kill it. It has to kill itself. A virus has to kill itself unless it was created. If it's created, then yes, you can use Clorox 99.9 and it'll take 99% of those.
Just don't inject it in yourself.
Or drink it.
Well, if you're stupid enough to do that, go ahead. I mean, it might do something to you. But you know,
they had somebody that drunk it.
No, that was
something. I thought, what in the world were they thinking?
That was that 45 that suggested.
Yeah, but I mean, it was somebody on the news that they had in the hospital and drunk. So I thought
that's crazy.
That's what you about the biggest fool.
No, I know some bigger fools than that one, but you know, getting back to that coronavirus. No, I don't believe in that. I don't believe when people put on those masks. They say, okay, this mask is protection for you, but that mask stops your body's immune system. You know, it stops you. You're inhaling everything of yourself. You're not getting any protection. There's over 19,000 what is that? Viruses that drop a day. And you don't catch it because your body fights it off.
I don't know nothing about those viruses.
You may Google your friend, baby. May Google your friend. I'm just serious. We are our bodies. We're beings. So we have the mechanism to fight this. This is why Black people say when I get sick, I go outside and get that vitamin D. You know, and you could tell when Black people don't get vitamin D.
Vitamin C and vitamin D.
Yeah, because vitamin D is
it's great for your immune.
Yeah, it's how your body functions.
Yeah.
And when I got sick, I went outside and I got that vitamin D. You know, young people might call it something else, but the vitamin D I'm talking about is from the sun. Yeah. You know, they be talking about
those are your best friends when you're sick.
Yeah.
Vitamin D and vitamin C.
And that's free. And that's why they told you to stay in the house. because they knew if you went outside, you would heal yourself because we heal from within.
Well, the heat is really doing it now. So,
well, why are people still wearing masks outside?
Well, be on the safe side.
Yeah, on erring on the side of caution.
If it's a virus and it's dropping, covering your mouth ain't gonna help it.
Well, covering your mouth
because you still have on
covering
clothes.
your mouth is supposed to protect the other people, not necessarily protect you.
You still have clothes that travel from every place that you go.
Yeah, that's why you don't. That's why you take them off when you go in the house. You don't sit on your bed.
But you still going from location to location with your clothes on. So even if you went butt naked, it would drop somewhere.
Yeah.
So you have to. That's idiotic.
You do the best you can.
No, that's stupid.
With the information that you got.
But look where the information came from. Miseducation will hurt us.
Miseducation can, but
education at all can hurt you even more.
Right. I was gonna say now.
That is not a mask.
And part of it is that you have to deal with trust and faith, because you don't know when people are telling you. If you're not a doctor,
I know what my mind. The first thing my mind says, take that stuff out, girl. You're gonna be sicker than I don't know what. I was mowing. And I put on a mask and I almost passed out. I'm like, oh, this stuff, I am not going to be out here, can't breathe. And then we putting on stuff that people, you got the real one, okay? People putting on stuff that their sister, auntie, and cousin made out of cloth materials. They're not breathing the proper stuff. You understand what I'm saying? She's got a medical mask. They don't wear that same mask 8 hours a day.
No.
They're wearing this mask 8 hours a day. They wearing those plastic gloves, which is cross-contamination. When a doctor examines you, he throws those gloves away.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wear those gloves from your place to my place to home. When my mother got sick, every time we touched something after we washed our hands, we had to go wash our hands again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Soap and water is your friend.
That's what they told you.
That stuff that they're giving you and telling you that sanitizer, that's not good. It's gonna end up breaking you down because that's alcohol.
But that's what they were telling you to do too.
And they told you was free.
And even if you're wearing the gloves, if you're gonna wear your gloves continuously and you don't change them, then you should wash them. Yeah, sanitize them and wash them. The same way as if you was washing your hands.
Soap and water is the best thing.
It's the best thing.
That was the word they was giving us. They said the sanitizer was if you couldn't get the soap and water. If you can get the soap and water,
man,
use that.
I see people do some stuff with that, with their hands, with those gloves on.
Yeah. Well, and everybody's not trained. I mean, when you tell everybody to start wearing, I mean, people are wearing masks and don't wear masks right. I mean, we're not. Right. Yeah. You see people going around with a mask like, well, what you even got it on for and stuff.
So I can throw a brick through a window.
So the majority, that did help out when you're looting or something, I guess, as you had the mask. but other than that, you tell the whole public that something's going around, and everybody's not educated enough, even with hand washing. And so everybody just doesn't take it the same way. You're going to get some, you're going to miss some. But you've got to get it out there to try and save the greatest number. Or protect the greatest number.
I can't even go with that because I think that when we say that people's not going to do it, I was like...
They're not going to do it 100%.
I was thinking, Google should be your friend. If your life is... You had nothing but time to Google this. And you would see... Some people are allergic to what is that? Not plastic, but
latex.
Latex.
Mm-hmm.
They put it on. Okay, I'm watching people do everything with these gloves, and I'm saying, man, I feel more in danger with my life with you with them gloves on than you would not no gloves on. I remember, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But I remember we used to drop our food on the floor.
5-second rule.
There you go.
5 seconds, it's gonna be gone. And my father said, kiss it up to God and it's okay.
Yeah.
We ate more dirty food. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
5-second rule.
And we still here.
Yeah.
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt. Put it in your mouth. It just might work.
Say that again.
God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt. Put it in your mouth. It just might work.
Go with it. Yeah.
But I don't think that
5-second rule.
We cannot operate on the spirit of fear. We cannot operate on the spirit.
No. And it wasn't to be scared.
Yeah,
it's and people are gonna get scared, but it was a thing to give what they say, if you get forewarned, it's forearmed. And so
but you gotta come with something better than
so if they tell you that this will work, you've got a chance to do it, not out of fear, but just saying that, hey, this is coming. If you make sure you start doing this, washing your hands, if you make sure you're doing that, you stand a chance of
You
not
should be
being
washing
caught
your
in
hands
it.
when you wash your butt anyway.
But I mean more often.
Yeah.
More often this time.
But you know
because
what?
I probably didn't wash my hands as much as I've washed my hands in the last.
Well, I stopped washing my
Dude.
hands like that when I started seeing them turn white. I'm like, who these hands belong to?
Well, that was a bad thing. Lotion became your best friend after
Vaseline
that.
had to do my hair.
It
Lotion didn't get these.
wasn't good.
But I'm gonna tell you, when I thought I've been hooked, winked, bamboozled, is when I was still going to the store on a hunt for toilet paper. And I'm thinking, why I need all this toilet paper? It's just me. So you know what I did? I'm like, they had me buying toilet paper. And I said, what does toilet paper have to do
Not a thing. People
with the virus? And I
Not a
started
thing.
thinking, people coming, over to the house. You don't want them over there because you don't want them going in your bathroom.
You don't want to use up your toilet paper.
And so I said, I brought me one of those little sprayers. Order me one. I'm not paying that kind of money for toilet paper. When I went in there, I said, I'm not paying no $6 for a roll thing. But that's how high the toilet paper had gotten up. For cheap toilet paper, right? To stop. And then I had to pay $99 to the plumber because the toilet paper stopped up my, you know what I'm saying? I was just taking toilet paper that's going. And then I went to the store. Just me, right? They said 4-can limit. I have to get 4 cans of everything now because it's a limit, right? And I'm thinking, if I'm going to die, I ain't going to have time to eat. And why I want all these canned goods, I'm not a vegetarian. So I went to the store and I spent at one store $91, at the other store $80-something for just me.
Yeah, that's
and
a lot.
I still got the canned goods sitting there because I didn't eat those canned goods because I like fresh vegetables. I did it the next week and I brought a cake mix. I brought a cheesecake mix. Then I brought some fudge mix. And I paid like $7 for the little nuts that go inside them. I ate them all in 1 week. I said, this getting ridiculous now. You know what I'm saying? I've got pecan ice cream, milk, and everything. If I don't hurry up and die, catch this, I'm going to be overweight and be unhappy. So I started I had to stop.
That pandemic weight on.
Yeah.
A lot of us
because
put it on.
people sitting at home
Yeah,
and eating.
I ate everything. I ate barbecue ribs.
Not
Yeah.
exercising, not doing nothing.
No. You're just sitting at home in front of the television.
Me and
eating
Rachel
stuff.
Ray became our friend, and I'm up there cooking with Rachel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I can't believe this. And I said, you know what? Then I did get sick. But I didn't feel like eating, and I didn't feel like doing anything but sleeping. And I slept. And I said, oh God, maybe I'm getting ready to die because I'm preparing my body to go into rest and nesting. And then my granddaughter called me and she said, Grandma, you getting ready to die? I said, no, I'm getting ready to get my butt up. But
Yeah.
I felt that way. And that's what I said, it's a mind thing because you live alone. You don't have nobody to talk to. My cat and my dog follow me around. My cat and my dog. I'm like, if y'all don't go somewhere and they just looking at you, And I said, well, maybe these dogs and cat know something's going on. You start thinking,
Yeah.
can you talk to me? Tell me what's going on. Because y'all won't leave me alone.
Then you're really getting crazy now. You
Right.
And so I called
you
Brandon.
start conversating with them.
Yeah. I called
Cat
Brandon.
laying up under
Yeah.
you.
And wait,
They
cat
say
on this-
animals
wait a minute.
know.
Yes, the cat's
They
on
say
this
animals
side,
know.
the dog's on this side, and I'm in the middle. I said, oh no, they're going to find me. So I decided to go ahead and make sure I had everything prepared, which a path in my bedroom so they could find me if they had to come up there. You know what I'm saying? And to hide all the stuff that I was really eating around there. And so my son said, well, you know what, Mama? People can live and they don't go outside because you in that risk age, and all that. And I'm like, when I seen Brandon on TV with that mask on, I said, this stuff got to be real.
Yeah.
Because Brandon don't believe in nothing.
My sister lost her best friend to this virus.
It probably was something else, and they blamed it.
Yeah, I've lost a cousin
It was the
just
virus.
last week.
Mhm.
I
It
got
was
a
the
phone
virus.
call.
Yes, you know what? And your sister's friend, I've been knowing him, oh my God, for years. When I had my balloon store on the landing, he would come out there. He was a really nice guy.
Perry.
Yes, really, really nice guy.
That's when you know it's real. When you
Yeah.
know somebody that actually is affected by this, it's real.
But round 2 is getting ready to come, so get ready.
Okay, I hope you got your mask ready.
And they wear no mask.
Ugh.
Because I figured if all of y'all covered up,
Then you should be good.
I
You
should be good. Same way with the flu shot. When I seen that woman take that flu shot and start walking backwards, I'm not getting no flu shot. Because see, now you go in there and they can put a chip in you, you don't even know it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things could happen.
It is.
But I get a flu shot.
I do too.
I
Every
had
year.
a pneumonia shot too. So.
The 1 year I didn't take the flu shot, I caught the flu.
Well, I didn't take them for years, and I got the flu 1 year, and that after
you
that
down,
I
didn't
said, okay, I'll be getting
But
the
you
shot.
can't take a shot for the flu because it's a virus, and each time the flu comes,
It's not an active virus. It just helps you build up the antibodies in your system.
Yeah,
so your
the same thing that
immune
they're saying with some of
fights
the
it off.
people that don't, with this coronavirus now, COVID-19, some people aren't affected. You might have it if you haven't been tested, and you're not necessarily.
You're asymptomatic.
Yeah, that's the word.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people walking around that's got COVID-19.
And don't
It's
even
not
know
having
it.
the same effect on them. Their
Right.
body is either
Then leave it
fighting it
alone.
off or
Yeah.
something like
that's
that.
because they're not walking around here taking all those precautions that y'all doing, and their immunities and their body is building up immunity.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, and I don't know if they really know what it is, but it can be a lot of it around you, and then your blood, because that's what they're saying now. They want to look at the blood
That's
of
why they
those
come to
people
get you.
and see if they've got the
They would
antibodies.
never get to take me to see if I got any.
And if you have
antibodies.
underlying health conditions,
Yeah,
that doesn't help if you catch it.
it can exasperate
Mhm.
it and
Well, I
stuff.
put it
So.
like this. I'm gonna do like my grandma was saying. When it hurts, you lay your hands on it and you cure yourself. I'm not going in there. I don't take no medicine. I mean, if I absolutely had to take medicine, I would take it. But I don't take it. I do the natural stuff, and it's been working for me. And I'm
that's
stick
good.
with it. I'm gonna stick with
And
it.
that's good.
I'm gonna stick with the ginger. I'm gonna stick with the garlic. I'm gonna stick with the onions.
If
I'ma
it
stick
ain't broke,
with-
don't fix
I'm
it.
gonna stick with the
Well,
apple
that's
cider.
right.
Because I watched my mom when she
Thing
started
is
taking
to
medicine.
know if something isn't working, if it gets to a point,
Then Lord, take me out of
then
here.
don't just die when there's something that you could do to make
But
it
if-
better.
Prevent it.
Yeah.
But let me say, put it like this, Mr. Walker.
Okay.
When I was created, when I fought my way to be here out of the million sperms
Yeah.
that could have took me out,
Uh-huh.
I knew then I was a warrior. Million sperms, and I beat them here. Okay, so I was already a millionaire when I got here, right?
You good. You good.
So on my mama's womb, the day that I'm gonna leave this earth is already written. I can't go no minute faster. Can't go no minute later.
That's true. That's
Right.
for all of us.
No,
Yeah,
that's true.
So if it's my time to die, I can't stop what's there.
But you might live bad.
No,
You know,
I
see,
hear
you
what you say.
might not go. Cause see, everything ain't about going.
Yeah,
Mm.
But
sometimes
it's
you
like
stay.
you might be walking around here beat up and it's.
But
it's
I'm
something that
already
could've been-
gone.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, if I'm walking around like that, I'm already gone.
Yeah,
I don't
so-
know I'm here.
So there's a thing, because people will say, I won't die until my time. That's the truth, but you don't want to be in a coma for the next 15 years.
Right.
Something might happen.
Or
and
an
you lay in
altered mental
comatose, and
state.
It ain't your time to die for the next 10 years, but you was taking them drugs or doing something you shouldn't have been doing.
So now your mental state
And
is
now
altered.
your mental state is bad. So you still here,
Yeah.
but then you really ain't here.
Right.
But I don't have to worry about that because I'm not going to take drugs. I'm going to watch y'all take the drugs.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I just think,
You better
everything
keep
in
your
life
eyes
is a
peeled, 'cause
choice.
You ain't gonna catch that.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about y'all taking that medicine. I call them drugs.
Oh, okay.
Everything in life is a choice. You could choose to get up in the morning.
I'm
and
the
stay
only
in
one
bed.
sweating.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of, do you want to deal with the consequences of your choices, good or bad? If you choose not to wear a mask, that's your choice. But you can't, down the next person because they choose to wear
I don't.
one.
I don't.
mean,
you
know
know,
what I'm saying?
I
And they
don't.
can't
I just
say
say
anything
if
to
you got them gloves on that you've been having on since 6 a.m., don't touch me.
And then
Yeah.
some of the people.
I don't. I'm
think-
like people can have their own choice of what they want to wear.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I do not judge you for wearing because you might know what you got. And
But
I
as
think
long as you're not taking it to somebody else, like they say, you might be running these streets, but now if you got grandma and grandpa at home,
Right. Then
then
don't go over there.
Don't go there.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You want to do what you want to do. You
Yeah.
ain't
Stay
taking
there.
no precautions.
Yeah.
Then leave them alone, though. And stuff,
Right.
'cause that's I had a cousin down in
Yeah.
Houston. She said the grandkids, everybody wanted to come visit her. Now that this episode, she look at them through the window.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
but you know, I
She's
guess
already got some lung problems, and her doctor told her don't take no tests. So they want to come by. She said they want to come by and check on grandma. She said, but I'm telling them, we talk through the window
Yep.
and stuff. Cause you my grandkids.
But I don't know where you been.
yeah, can't bring in no
I don't know where you
outside
been. I don't
stuff.
know who you been around.
And like you say, it might be on your clothes.
it's on your clothes. I'm
anything
just
or
saying.
something.
I'm just saying. I'm looking at it a whole different way, and maybe that's because I deal with domestic violence. Maybe that's
Yeah.
because I'm thinking that way. You know what I'm saying?
There's a problem
Because
there.
I think that's why I'm thinking of it differently. Because when you say grandma don't come over, the kids are gone. Yeah, people don't come around. You know what I'm saying? And so in domestic violence, the very thing that they do is isolate you and put you aside. Because see, I don't care if there couldn't have been a hell or high water that could stop me from seeing my mama. You know what I'm saying? Even if I thought I had something, she would just have to take her chances. You know, because I would have to peep in the window to see if something was going on. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't take her knowingly doing that.
But and you have to look at, say, your position. What you work with is a lot of domestic violence. So you look at things through the lens
of their eyes.
Violence,
and I think that's why I said
that's you're going to have a little different opinion, because the first thing coming to your mind is, they're telling them to stay home.
Yeah, that's her.
So now the rest of us is thinking about, okay, we got to stay home, but your lens is thinking about that other person and stuff and things like that. Yeah. And that's understandable.
Yeah, and I had to agree with that.
That's
I had to agree with that myself. That I was thinking in those lines, because when I'm thinking gaslighting, you know, when the president says one thing, then you come back and say another thing, then I'm thinking, okay, these are all simple. Yeah. But you know, I've been in this field for almost 40 years, so it's kind of hard to turn that off when you see the warning signs.
Absolutely.
But one of the great things that happened out of this, you know, I make jokes about it and all that, but seriously, I was sharing with Mr. Walker, I call it a purging. That God is purging, the earth purged itself.
Oh, yes,
because you know, because now we can see clear. Now people are coming together, common cause. You know, and we were seeing that we didn't need jobs to live. We didn't need all these
living
things.
living above their means.
Yes, we didn't need all this stuff to make us happy, because me not going to see you did not make me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I've started valuing my friends more, my friendships and talks more, the time that I could spend with you.
I said
that you know what I'm saying, the time that I could spend with you honestly, without even having to want anything back in return. So you just know I appreciate you.
Just to hear your voice.
Yes.
Just
when Stevie said the best, I called somebody and said, "Hey, I'm just called to say they hung up."
Yeah.
But it made me start appreciating my grandchildren more. Just the thought that, hey, this is a agape love. I don't have to do anything for you to want the best of me. You know, and I think that's what it did to people. People found out that they didn't know each other. They didn't know their children. They didn't know that those kids act like that because they didn't spend no time with them. You know what I'm saying?
They don't know their spouses.
That's what I'm saying. They spend no time with them.
A whole lot of people say, we really feel for the teachers now. Yeah, you didn't know your kid was that bad.
All day.
Yeah.
But it also, on the negative side though, because people were stuck in the houses with each other, domestic violence was on the rise. Child abuse was on the rise.
Well, you know, the people that molest people, put it like this: the men and women that was going to strip clubs, or the men and women that was addicted to porn, and they would go in there, you know, for the porn or whatever.
Right. Now you
take it home. So what happens? You don't stop their addiction because you can't go there, because now you got children there at home. You got, you know, a wife that may not even want to be.
It makes a dangerous situation.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
A hospital environment.
It's very dangerous. Yes. You know, very dangerous. I was thinking about when I had my granddaughter with me yesterday, and my granddaughter got out of my sight for a second, and I had a thought: what if somebody just picked her up? You know, because you can turn your back at people that fast, and it can happen.
But were y'all at home?
No, we was out.
Oh,
you know, we was out. We was out.
I was gonna say,
no, we was out mowing.
You can't walk around in fear.
No. I said we was out mowing. Okay. But it was just a thought that came to me. What would happen if somebody did that? Because you know what? I have a cousin. This daughter's been missing for 2 years. Daughter started missing when she was 14 years old. Nobody's really talking about it, or she tried to get help.
Haven't seen her
since. She's 16 now.
Yeah, that's
you know
bad.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's bad for parents.
Right.
It's bad on a family when something like that happens. Because I had a friend of mine whose daughter got murdered, and what that did to the family. Is something, you know, people don't see the after effects. You know, we all go to the funeral and all was bad, but that family was never the same no more.
Right.
So they end up splitting up. He died early. You know. Drinking a lot, you know.
Death brings out the ugly in people.
Yeah. Everybody doesn't rebound
the same
from stuff, you
That's
know.
true.
And so some people say get over it, but everybody don't just get over it.
You know, but this is
I don't
what
think you ever do. You just learn to deal with
you
it.
Learn to live with it. Your
you learn to
pain,
live
your
with it,
memories and stuff. Because I know, but this is what gets me. because we're beings and we're supposed to be the smartest being, but somewhere we're not that smart. I watch the birds over at my house. They get up, they go feed their bird, they leave. Mama don't sit there all day with them. You know what I'm saying? She come back, she feeds them, she leaves. When it's time for them to get up, if they fall, she sits there and watches them get up, okay? But the whole thing is she lets them go. We keep ours with us. I watch the dogs and cats when they breed, they let them babies, when they start biting them dogs ain't getting no more milk. You know what I'm saying? They let them go. We keep our children, and we're the smartest beings, till they 30, 40, almost older than us.
Sometimes way too long.
Way too long, and we don't let them go. You know, but we're smart. We go to cemeteries where we know the bodies are no longer there. The spirit is no longer there. And we spend all this money grieving over a plot.
That's why I say cremate me.
Well, I know they probably just pushed me around the corner. But I have not been out to where we placed my mother's body yet since she's passed away. And one of the reasons why is because I know my mother's spirit is not there. No. That's just
food for the worms.
Yeah, just that. I mean, it's just there. But I practice this in my life, that, and my mother's death sure taught me a lesson that you don't know when it's coming. Because if I had known it was my last time talking to her, I would have talked all night. You know, but you don't know when that last time is you're going to speak to someone. So you have to love them or in their presence. You know, and that's what I try to do, you know, is to love people in my presence, you know, instead of saying later, because I mean, all these 40 people, if they don't get the corona, I'm not dying. If they don't get the cure for them where people can come to funerals, I'm not dying.
Oh, man, I went to a funeral.
With 5 people?
You had to stay in the car?
Oh, they're different. It's just a whole different, they didn't let but 10 people in at a time, you know, and no chairs in and stuff. You just had to stand up. And you had 30 minutes. No, you didn't have 30. You were in for 10 minutes. Then you had to leave. They had to sanitize. The next 10 could come in.
Oh, wow.
And it was like that, you know, and they didn't want you standing around in the parking lot. You had to go back and get
to your cars.
See, they put that fear in you.
It was just really like, man, this is a heck of a way to, and it was one of our relatives, his mother, and I thought, boy, this would be a heck of a time to have to put like your mother away.
Yeah.
Can't probably say goodbye.
Yeah, and you know, just to me,
I heard at the cemetery, they all couldn't get out the cars. They
were
sitting in the cars.
Get out the
you
car.
had to sit in the cars.
But you know what?
They had it so mixed up when we went there. Though they told us at first that can't have no pallbearers. You got to stay in the car and stuff. But when we got to the cemetery, wasn't nobody get to.
Right.
Then they said, "Oh well, we need somebody." Yeah, you got to have somebody get the body out the car.
They're gonna leave the body in there. They're gonna leave the body in the car.
Right.
Yeah. You know. So, but it was just a different way of a send off. You know, that when you're used to having a closure, this is was so disjointed. And I've been to a couple of funerals during this time, and it's
not the
man,
same.
this just isn't a good time to die. It just really isn't. The good thing, though, about the coronavirus and the stay at home.
Mr. Mark, say that again. It's not a good time to die.
Yeah, no, it ain't. Like
when is better? When is a better time?
Right, but you know, to change the subject though with the coronavirus is that, did you notice when they had everybody stay home how they said the air got clear?
The air got clear.
It purged.
Pollution was down and stuff, and they could see
the mountains.
Even from the satellites.
You can look
stuff,
up, right.
They can see a difference in the earth.
It's purging because, you know, like in the third world countries, they're in at 2 p.m. You know, so I'm saying they in for a longer period of time than we are. But it made you think about the virus being locked down. I couldn't do prison time because I couldn't stay. I mean, really, because it would drive me crazy being in there. And it showed us that innocent people are in the system doing time just like this. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Having to deal with the results of somebody lying to you or telling you this. But also, I want to bring this up. I've just received I was tagged on this thing about this video about going to vote yesterday at the schools. Did you vote at the school?
No.
Okay. Did you vote at the school?
We voted in the church.
Okay. Well, they went to the school, Lincoln Middle, and they had to go through the detector. They had to have their purse searched, and they was I mean, I've never heard of that.
Vote?
To go vote. They said because it was in a school.
What?
And they said because it was in a school, and kids ain't been in there since.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. It's not. So they made them go through metal detectors and get searched. Who came up with that rule?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
That almost seems like
That's
voter
illegal.
suppression.
That's what she said it was, voter suppression.
Yeah.
And
that what,
when you go
at the school.
No.
Y'all could have did something else. You don't have to get searched and all
Right.
that. To go
you wouldn't
vote.
you wouldn't have went through my stuff. You
Yeah,
know, you wouldn't have
that's-
went through my stuff. I mean, that
Yeah.
would have been a time that
Now,
we
that's
would have.
something I'd say needs some investigation,
Yes.
especially at this time when
Yeah.
school isn't even in.
The school's
Right.
not even thinking about going in
Yeah, so
Because
what were you gonna do?
because I voted before at the university.
Uh-huh.
Never got searched.
Yeah, I mean that to me, you just can't. That shouldn't have been legal.
Yeah,
That just really.
she has the program.
I wonder how many schools. We need to find out how many. Schools
Yeah, I'm gonna find out. This is gonna
and
be my.
They do that at.
I'm gonna find out tomorrow. I'm gonna
'Cause
put
that,
it in.
That doesn't sound like that would be even be legal. To
But
me.
she
I
has the
could be
show
wrong.
Gangster Cooking Gangster.
What a podcast or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she was telling you
Oh,
that.
It's on
And
my
that was the people that went to vote at Lincoln Middle.
Lincoln Middle. So if you voted at Lincoln Middle, let
Yes.
me know. You
Yeah,
know if
find
this went through there.
Or anybody
Or
that
Truth.
voted at a school.
Yeah.
You know,
Search.
If y'all
Yeah.
could call us or if you could text something
Yeah.
on Facebook now and let us know if you went to a vote at a school and you got searched or you
Yeah.
didn't get searched.
Yeah. Either
We-
way,
we-
what
yeah, we
happened?
need
Your
to find out
experience.
if you voted in one of the Kansas City, Missouri schools. What was your experience?
Yeah. I mean, she's upset that she's gonna be. I'm gonna try to get on the show next week because it was short notice for me to get her today. But I want to talk about this because I think this is something that we really need to address because all of this stuff is happening before the presidential election.
Yes, I was gonna say you
Uh-huh.
got to start watching out for little tricks
Yeah.
because they
Right.
can be practicing.
Yeah,
now.
they practicing with the coronavirus.
Yeah, to see,
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They was
to see
practicing
how-
that.
Right.
to
Well, we
see
gonna
how
kill
they can
half the
do
people.
They
that.
tried to say you couldn't do mail-in votes.
But that's
Oh,
why
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why they
right,
that's
no,
why they
that-
that's why they went to the nursing homes. You know, they had people afraid that they said, well, the corona's on the mail. You know what I'm saying? On your mail that you get, people, yes, they pick it up. They said Amazon was sending it out. They had it on their packages.
Yeah,
But
they
you know what I'm saying? They
talk about
did,
that
yeah.
for a while, yeah.
But people still picking up them Amazon packages. You know what I'm saying? Because
So it-
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They still
buddy.
picking them up. But what did y'all think?
100%.
What did y'all think about the riots that I've seen where the people were looting? I think that that was bad that people looted, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
But that's the
And
way of the world.
That's always
yeah,
happened
yeah.
in a riot. The thing is, and like I told you, you have to be careful before you start putting blame one place
Oh, it
or
was
another.
good that it happened.
Because when you have trouble in a riot like that, you don't know. The government has been known
They
to
did
have
that.
provocateurs
Yeah.
embedded in things. The right wing would embed people. The left wing will, different extremist groups will use that opportunity
to make it violent.
to
Oh,
make
yeah.
it violent, to,
Yeah.
to put a bad light or to change the focus.
Well, they knew
They
that.
caught
that-
two
they,
people.
they
Yeah,
caught
that's what
more
I say.
too.
You
And they
see
were all
that?
lawyers. It was a
I
male
mean-
There was
division.
one wasn't a
Yes.
one,
They were
Yes,
lawyers.
yes, the white and the black.
Yes.
Yes.
but another one was a police officer.
Right.
You know,
I saw
so-
that. So you don't know. I don't say that. Oh, all they went out there and did was they tore up. So no, wait a minute. That's throwing a big net out
It
there.
is.
Yeah, because there was a lot of people went out there to
No.
protest for the right
for that.
reason.
Right.
Right.
No,
They
I'm not
didn't go out there just
to tear up.
To
tear
loot.
up
But
shit.
no,
Because
but-
you get
but-
some people on the news that say, "Well, they went out there and they looted and stuff," and that's all they went. No, that ain't.
Well,
why
the
they
ones
went
in
out.
St. Louis, when they went to that mall, I was up with them. They cleaned out the Nike store. They cleaned out the stuff that they stole to
Yeah,
get.
like
but
I say, when you have those people, and they can be led and incited to do that.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
It just
yeah,
takes
yeah,
one to
yeah,
do it. It
yeah.
just
You
takes
know,
one.
so if you put a provocateur or two in the group and say, yeah, and he has a crowbar or something, he happens to
Yeah,
have
you know,
the
black people
tools
ain't riding
to
around
get
with
it
that.
right. And all of a sudden the door is open. Well, yeah, people gonna go in there.
Right.
Now, you know, you know, you might not have started out going to do that, but you see everybody run down the street with some Nikes and stuff. There's some young people gonna run down there.
Did
And
nobody
get
go
some
in
Nikes too.
Target and pull out toilet paper?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
So
They got
the
they got the essentials. But one of the bad things, I don't believe in peaceful protesting, because peace has to only come through turmoil. Because you cannot respect peace unless you had turmoil. You know what I'm saying? So I believe that people have a right to voice their concern. But in order for America, because America was founded on the semen and the blood, so we understand this right here. We understand it in looting and all of that.
I mean, you go back to the Boston Massacre
Yeah.
and stuff, and that's what got people excited and stuff, was they were out protesting and threw snowballs at the British soldiers, and the soldiers shot back, and then all hell broke loose because they gunned down some innocent people and stuff. So yeah, that was what this country was
Look what happened though. But look what happened.
And they went to court and they got off.
But look what happened though. When these people were smart. They were smart. Because instead of coming down on 18th and Vine and tearing up where nothing is, they said, we're going to go to the plaza. Man, you got the
Now,
mayor.
That's something they couldn't do in 68.
No, they want the mayor. I walked out of my house when they did that.
When
they walked past when they walked past my house saying, protesting, I'll never forget it. We was living in Great Park. And they walked by the Panthers and then walked past my door. And I walked out of the house and walked right up there with them. You know, I'm marching too, because you got that feeling, you
down
know.
to City Hall.
You know, we went up to Truce, up on 31st and Truce. They marched from downtown, because I lived on...
in 68?
Yes, when they burned down 18th Street, 18th and Vine, and they left Toby's and the Call Paper and all of them over there, and they let Matt Longs and them stay. Yeah, but they this has been a little while, you know. But anyway, we walked up there. That's what it called the 31st Street. We called it Uptown because we lived downtown, right? And we was in there and they was throwing stuff in the windows, and they had the shoes up there, but they only had a right one and a left one of not the same shoes. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a matching pair in the windows. They just have a right shoe or a left shoe, and they was throwing stuff, and they was snatching the stuff out of the store, which you didn't have, or you going to jail for nothing. And I was in Cats, and I was stealing those rings. You know,
there's a statute of limitations.
Oh yeah, I mean that was about 40 years ago. I was borrowing those rings, right? All of a sudden, I felt somebody at the back of me pulled me up, said, "Get your blank home." My mama followed me up there. I'm like, how you gonna be a revolutionary, and your mama follow you? My mama came up there because we didn't even have a car. My mama walked up there, and yes, she did. And my cousin them talked about me because but I love that. You know, I love the feel of getting in. But they had a plan in action what they wanted. We wanted the right to vote. We wanted the right to have the same thing that they're asking for now. Police brutality was horrible back then.
We wanted the schools to be closed when Martin Luther King was being buried.
Yes. You know what I'm saying?
That was what started it. So the Kansas City School District said, no, they ain't closing the schools just because of the funeral of Martin Luther King. And that started. There was a lot of other grievances when they said that. Southeast,
I don't know why, but I was
Central, and then walked down to Manual, walked on down to City Hall. And
you talking about a different right then?
No, it's the same one.
I'm talking about the one that when they burned down everything.
Yeah. When that first started,
I was at home. I don't know.
It was the school kids.
Okay.
But that was just that was just what got it started.
Okay.
The school kids left out of school and marched down to City Hall.
Oh, well, y'all caught me when y'all came up 18th Street.
And then they run them off from there. They tricked them, said everybody go to Blessed Sacrament. They go have a dance. Yeah. They got up there to have a dance. They shot tear gas in the windows. And then
but you know what happened? But you know, really but that was
people were already upset, so it was just different. But then it all kind of came together.
Wow.
And then, like you say, the Panthers and everybody, you know.
Because you know where their headquarters was.
Oh, I know, not the Panthers. Were they on Prospect then?
They was at Blessed Sacrament.
They were at Blessed Sacrament.
You know,
that
when
why they
started, you know what I'm saying? Because you know where the rectory was, where the priest stayed in, they started the first breakfast where they started feeding the kids and stuff. That's how I met them.
Didn't know that.
I went to Blessed Sacrament.
Okay.
Yeah. See, I went to.
Okay.
Most people don't know I went to Pearl Hill School.
Right
you know.
there on Benton.
No, 39th and
Oh
South
yeah, up
Fountain.
the street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I remember they came down to.
But that's where
the
right down the street. Yeah, that was right down the street. And they started when the kids got the food programs in school. That was started by the Panthers because the Panthers would tell us before you can learn, you can't learn on an empty stomach. But they was not only talking about feeding your stomach; they was talking about feeding your mind. Everything was about education because most of the Panthers, most of the people didn't realize the Panthers were young kids that were college kids. Right. They were college kids. I mean, they was very,
It was formed on the college campus in Southern California.
Yeah.
So they were all college students.
Yeah.
And they were doing something. The ironic thing is, just like one guy was talking on television, it's been 50 years and we're fighting the same thing. What was the Panthers doing? Self-protection against who? The police.
Back then.
The Oakland police were roughhousing people, stuff like that. And they said, we got to arm ourselves to watch the police. And they would be there. That's what Huey Newton and them first started doing. Is when the police would pull a car over to arrest somebody, they just stand around and watch. And they kept telling them to clear out. And they said, no, we don't have to clear out. We can stay here. So there wasn't no video cameras in them days. But just that the police in Oakland were known for beating up
bad
people, doing things and stuff like that. So they formed in self-defense. And
that's what we should do here.
That's the community. So today, what are we still?
We watch them.
The police.
And we doing this.
So the only thing different is we've got a video.
I'm gonna tell y'all now, if I ever get beat up, and I find out y'all just videoed it,
But you know, and that's another thing too, though, because when you watch this video, like the people said, the police wouldn't let them come up there and help. You know, you couldn't try and get there. They had one policeman standing guard to keep them on there. Because the one lady the nurse asked, let me check his pulse.
Okay,
so
they didn't do it, but they didn't do it that day.
They didn't do
nothing. They didn't do it. They didn't do it right then. But that night, you couldn't keep them out the police.
Well,
okay?
Yeah.
So that's when they brought the lily white kids up in there. They said, "I'm gonna put a whole rack of bricks beside this store. We ain't walking around with no bricks. You know what I'm saying? We ain't walking around with no bricks. We not in all of that kind of stuff. When I see that kind of stuff, you know your people."
But that's what you have to watch out for is people leading you.
But wait a minute. What about the people that try to it took? I think it was 40 people, 45 people that tried to break into an ATM machine. Do they really think it was gonna be money in that ATM machine? You can tell people don't got no bank accounts because they know ain't no money left in that ATM machine. Chase had already announced that they were taking the money out of the areas that was being looted. They had already said that they wasn't gonna leave no money. Now they got federal cases because the cameras is over all ATMs. You know what I'm saying? And Jean Peters Baker, oh my God, listen what she did. She found the looters that went on the plaza. But she can't find the murders of the 3 that happened the other night. But she can find out through the cameras of the 2 black people that went to the plaza and stole. We got an opportunity to change our prosecutor. We need to do that. We have an opportunity to do a whole lot of changes. We need to do that. Right now, one of my biggest things, and they've been arguing with me about, is local control. This is Miss E's bill on local control. The governor appoints a board. Any sitting senator can take that person off the board. Okay? The only person she cannot take off is the mayor. Why? Because the mayor is the top person on that board, okay? The funds to run the Kansas City Police Department comes out of Kansas City. Doesn't come from the state.
Right.
Discipline action comes from Kansas City. Doesn't come from the state. Everything that happens from the police department, other than putting those 12 people on that board, or how many people's on that board, is done through Kansas City. Quentin Lucas got on there today and said, well, we're going to try for body cams. He has the money to do it. He could have done that from day one. You know, so people need to stop being led astray by these organizations that come up now hollering, we want local control. You already have local control. You want to be able to, who's going to be over it? Who's going to be over the board? We change council every 4 years. Who's going to be over the board? The same crooked people that want it? You know, I mean, really, who's going to be over the board? And what difference will it make?
Well, now that's what I was getting ready to say. Now, do you think the governor has any good interests at heart.
The governor
especially
has
the governor we got now.
The governor has nothing to do with the board. That's what people don't understand.
Appointing them.
He appoints him, but if you Kiki Curls and was a senator and you say you need to come off, you coming off that board. You don't have a permanent seat on that board. The only person that has a permanent seat is one that's elected.
But if you look at politics and stuff, though, how much is Kiki Curls gonna say you come off the board if the governors have appointed?
It doesn't matter. The governor just will send some names.
Yeah.
He don't know you from Benny Hills.
Right.
It don't mean nothing to him.
So who sends in the names?
The dirty politicians.
The senators?
Local people, Freedom Inc. Because all them people belong to Freedom Inc. Don't get me started.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get me started.
We getting there. So.
But the whole thing is people need to wake up. You know what I'm saying? And do your research. And I say this all the time. When Brandon went down to Jefferson City, he fought for body cams. He fought for the police to be responsible and held accountable. Not one of these organizations stood behind him or came down there to lobby. The same very people that's hollering now for local control, just recently he introduced ordinances and stuff to bring the police accountable. Not one of them supported him. So all I can say is be careful of the people that's trying to entice you to do something and find out how they're getting funded. Because they used to be friends with the police. What happened? Be careful who you get in bed with, because you never know who you wake up with.
That'll be interesting.
You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. We need to start checking these people and saying who is feeding our community this. And I'm one that is so tired of the misinformation that's coming out. When we talk about local control, let's think, who is they're going to appoint? A board? You know, they say they don't trust their government, so who are they going to have over them? The mayor's going to sit there regardless. So who's going to be over it? The mayor is over the mayor is over the board right now. You know, and so if people don't believe that, check it out. You've been listening to Girl Talk. Oh, this Saturday and Sunday we're doing a girl cleanup on 38th and Chestnut. So we asking for rose donations, brushes, and we're painting. Find us on Facebook. Terrence is making me go. Goodbye. Goodbye. But they mad at me, and I told them on Facebook. I said, "Oh, we still on?"
It's not mad. I think you just turned it off.
Oh, they mad at me on